You talked about transparency, which I think is really key, and I think in PR we're seeing with traditional media that's becoming sort of an issue, because when you're transparent they say we don't even want to talk to you. So I represent a brand, but you know, we have this great story to tell. They like the great story, but because you represent a brand, we don't want you, right? So there's that, and then the other thing is with celebrity being so, you know, important in our culture. You know, what is the value of a celebrity really representing your brand on social media? And then how do you break through, how do you see breaking through with the traditional media when you are being transparent, and because you're being transparent, they don't want to work with you?
Tell me a bit more about that resistance. The traditional media brands don't want to work with you in what sense?
So, for example, the Today Show has a policy that if you have a spokesperson who's coming to talk to you about an issue, but they are being paid by a brand, they don't want to talk to you. However, if you pay somebody who works for the Today Show, and you know, somebody that's a regular on the Today Show, you pay them and you say, okay, talk about my brand, and you're not transparent, that gets on the Today Show. So that's interesting to me. I'm seeing that because I agree with you, transparency is so key in social media, but it's becoming more of a problem with traditional media. And then I guess the question really is, what's the role of the celebrity in social media? Does it matter anymore there?
You take the role of the celebrity, but I want to just, because we don't have any celebrities on social media, but I think you have to understand where traditional media are coming from on that question. The assigning editor at the Today Show is very sensitive to the perception that the show is being paid to cover a particular story, right? And so. You know, that's just always going to be an issue with that venue in a way that it's not an issue if your paid spokesman goes on the internet and blogs. But you know, I mean, particularly broadcast media. This goes back to the payola scandals with radio in the 50s. Right. You know, where DJs got in trouble for taking money to play particular songs, and that was this was thought, I think, rightly to be to sort of corrupt the whole. Corrupt the whole experience for the for the viewers. So how do you? I mean, but obviously, what you need to know is how do I get around that?
Well, I mean, I see how a lot of agencies are getting around that. It's to hire these people that are regulars on the show. You pay that person, and they hawk your brand. But that's not transparent, and I sometimes feel uncomfortable about that because you're not being transparent. I mean, it's almost like, we're not going to let you know that this person is representing our brand, but they're going to talk about this, because that way you'll cover it. But if you come out and say, this person is being, is a spokesperson for our brand, but they're not going to mention the product, we just want to talk about the issue. No. It's like, no. The product association gets you off the air, but if you don't go out on the table with it, that gets you on the air. I mean, I think everybody's probably experienced that's working in PR.
So an example, that would be what?
So you hire, say, a nutritionist who's a regular on the Today Show, and you say, I want you to talk about this food, and we'll pay you X amount of money to do that. But you don't represent us. You're going out because you're a nutritionist. However, if I come to you and say, I represent this brand, we're not going to talk about this particular brand, but we're going to talk about nutrition. No. So it's the not transparent way that gets results, and I guess that's the question, like.
Yeah, that seems messed up to me.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, no.
It probably explains why TV is losing viewers.
Yeah.
In the long run,
I think people are trying to, since social media is moving so fast, I think everyone's just like kind of like learning how to deal with it, and it's kind of like they're like figuring it out. It's kind of like Wild Wild West in a way. People are trying to figure out how to be more transparent, how to deal with it, how to get their message out there, and a lot of times I think people like say, hey, that's not fair. And there is that loophole in the way, but I think there's a big scandal on that a couple of years ago, how certain spokespeople, they seem to be like experts, and then it just so happened they're actually getting paid by certain companies, and then when that came out, there was a huge scandal, and they're like, oh my God, I think it was Board of Education or something. So my take is like it's like the Wild Wild West, and we just have to kind of like learn to navigate it, and unfortunately, I guess there are situations like that where it's like, hey, life isn't fair. I don't know, that's my take.
And I guess the question about celebrity on the internet.
I feel like so at CRT Tanaka, we did the Go Granny campaign, which you're aware of. If we didn't have a Cloris Leachman Academy Award-winning actress on the show, on the video campaign, we wouldn't have gotten the kind of traction we did. That's my gut instinct. So some brands, if you have that kind of budget to get a celebrity who has a social media, I mean Kim Kardashian. I'm like totally stalking her on Twitter right now because everyone, the whole world thinks that she's all about fashion and she's Looney Tunes. She's not. She's a successful business owner. And she knows how to market herself as a personal brand. I'm taking lessons from her on how to tweet. So
how much does she charge? I do believe reading about that, saying that she basically charges anywhere from what, like for one tweet?
10,000.
Is it 10,000? Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But that was a while ago. So
now it's like 20,000.
But then we got one retweet from Justin Bieber for maple syrup, and the traffic just went up the roof. So it's kind of like
he actually did one for Air New Zealand too. That was
and boom, right?
But let me ask you. So you get a celebrity, tweeter, but did that actually like convert to actual people buying your products? So yeah, your traffic went up like crazy. But did that actually convert to sales, increase in sales, or just awareness?
That's a question that every person asks, and I say no. Don't even go there with ROI right now. Social media is still in infancy. Only one or two. Dell is probably the only one that toots around saying I made $5 million out of Twitter engagement. I seriously doubt if there's any brand out there that has done a good job of like. First of all, we don't have the tools to even track from Twitter to website traffic to the point of sale. If you've heard of someone, I would like to know, because there's not a single process by which you can, connect the dots and be like, ooh, cha-ching, thanks to social media. We're not there yet. So,
let's talk.
Yes.
That's good, yeah.
But hey, if Justin Bieber or Kim Kardashian or you are tweeting about my brand and it got like 300% more traffic to my website, voila. Job done for that month.
So you did actually see the high conversion too,
absolutely,
which high traffic to your website.
Yes, you can if you have your Google Analytics set up.